First, take your 2" by 3" board by 12 feet and mark 6 feet. And then next, you're gonna saw that. And since this is oversized, I just used that other piece to mark the other piece. Because it's not really 12 feet, it's 12 feet and 2 inches. Next, I glued those up and set a timer for 2 hours just for it to for it to cure a little. And I forgot to tell you that I also cut a 42" piece. I just wasn't able to get it on camera because the footage got lost for some reason. But here is the 42" piece and the other one is the 6-foot piece. For the legs, I'm just getting scrap 2x4s and cutting them to 18 inches. And after that, I'm going to attach it only using screws for now. So first, I'm drilling pilot holes. Then drive in a tech screw. And then a second one. And the third one. Here, mark 30 inches from our 42" piece. And then carry that line across the board. Get a scrap of 2x4. And make sure that it's below the line and not above the line. And then I'm just going to use that to draw another line. Now I'm just gonna get that line at the side of the boards. Then I'm gonna scribe a 1" line from the sides. I'm using the speed square, but you can just use a measuring tape and mark 2 lines and connect them with a ruler. And then start sawing. Actually, this thing will also be done to the 6-foot piece. Just the same thing. Mark 30 inches from the bottom. And then use the 2x4 to make another line, scribe, mark the sides, and just do exactly the same thing. And here, I will just make a groove for it to fit in. It doesn't need to be perfect. And this is what you do for the other side and the other board. But wait, before doing it to the 6-foot piece, first we need to make a tenon at the top. And it's a really long piece, so what I do is put it on my workbench and then kneel on it with one of my knees. It's at a little awkward angle, but it still works. After that, just cut the sides off. And right now, I'm going to get a 2x4. And I'm also going to cut it into two 4-foot sections. So right here, I'm just connecting the 2x4s. And first, I'm just going to drill pilot holes. And then, I'm going to screw them together again with the tech screws. If they don't hold strong enough, I might glue them together. But the force of lathing is usually downwards. So this should hold strong. Next, I screwed in a bottom brace. I didn't include that because it just took too long. I don't know why it was so hard. I just butt jointed them with some glue and the tech screws again, and they're holding up good. And as you can see, this lathe is fairly sturdy. Of course, it shakes side to side because it's narrow, but it's not flexing too much. It's already 5 o'clock and I need to hurry up cutting the pieces for the poppet. So I use the miter saw, but of course it's possible to do with the hand saw also. I've cut two 2x4s and two 1x4s to 20 inches, and now I'm going to laminate them together and then edge joint them together. Laminating them is just gluing them on their faces, and edge jointing is gluing them by their edges. And the more clamps you use, the better. So I just used all my clamps. And here I'm just trying to use every single bit of glue I have left in this bottle because it's pretty much has no more glue in it, but I'm using every single drop in there. Now I understand why people don't like C-clamps. It's so time consuming and the twisting motion is really bad. I just glued it long enough for them to stick together, and since it's super hot and dry here, that's why I always need the fan, or else I won't be able to work here anymore. The glue isn't fully dry, but it's dry enough that it stuck the two pieces of wood together. And also, I've only waited less than 5 minutes for this. And yes, here it is again, the glue. I don't have any glue brushes yet, so temporarily, I just use plain shavings or just a chip of wood. Just like that. So I'm cutting out a shape for the top. I forgot what it's called. Next, I'm going to get that piece up to there. And I wish I've just done this before I assembled the whole thing, but now I need to do it here. So I'm just going to line it up. You can measure it or eyeball it. It doesn't really need to perfectly be in the center. Now you just go up the lathe with the square and pencil. And after that, you're going to go back up and use your saw to cut it out. And yeah, this takes long since the board isn't that supported and like, yeah. And then just repeat, do that with the other side. And by the way, you're not going to cut this out. You're going to make some sort of groove in the middle. And then I'm going down to get my coping saw. I'm going back up. And even though it's not that convenient, that's the only choice I have to cut that part out since I can't chisel it. And yeah, that's where it fits. And here I'm going to screw it. You don't need... Actually, no. You shouldn't screw it. This is only temporary. Because I can't find a bolt yet. And this is just to wrap up the day. And so yeah, that would be it for today. Day 1. Bye.